Hello, and welcome to the weekly reading. Mercury is out of retrograde but still in shadow, which is a classic reminder for me. As I began to record this, I realized I only had 4 minutes of recording time left, so I had to go and clear my photos and videos a bit so that I had space, and that is a very Mercury retrograde-y, Mercury shadow kind of thing. We are coming off the back of the biggest astrological month of this year, particularly up until that conjunction of last week, and even that full moon in Scorpio. So we need to really look at staying calm, hence the adaptive blend, and digesting, hence the Zen Jest blend, and some crystals to kind of raise our frequency, but also to calm us down. That is selenite. And I don't want to show the cards just yet. We've got a beautiful supportive heart. Also, this one's very good for throat chakra, which I would like to speak into a little bit now. So this week sees Venus moving into her home sign of Taurus, and that is, I think, on Tuesday, Wednesday, I think it's Tuesday. So Venus in Taurus is going to give us an opportunity to really metabolize a lot of what's gone on, because it's going to talk into our values, what we truly value, and it's bringing a lot of truth and clarity to that, which has been very turned around in the last month. We really are changed from how we started April to how we end April, but most of us will probably be trying to carry on as if we haven't changed. So with that in mind, pick a number between 1 and 4 to see which is the primary message for you of this collective weekly reading. Remember, it's not a personal reading, it's collective, but you will get something from it, and add your personal number or numbers to that and you will get a little bit of a deeper feel. And we actually have a 5th bonus card that's come up. And let's jump in. I have used a different deck, one that used to be my primary reading deck, and then I'm very hooked for some time now on the Lightseers Tarot, and that's now my primary reading deck. But this is Colette Baron Reid's Wisdom of the Oracle deck, and it's a really beautiful deck. It's a deck she uses as a teaching deck. And as I say, I just felt like with all the consolidation and calming down, we needed a shift in perspective. And so with that, we're getting a shift in deck. So this card is upside down, this card is upside down, this card is upside down. Again, a testament to the fact that we're a little bit turned around. The first one, truth be told, is very much speaking to us becoming a little bit more honest and truthful with ourselves, especially when it's in protection. It's like, where are you lying to yourself? Where are you not looking at what you can feel in your bones is true? Where is somebody else deceiving you? And remember, we're coming out of eclipse season. Well, we are out of eclipse season now, but eclipse season is a time when we look at what has been revealed when the sun or moon are being concealed. So we want to ask ourselves, something came to the surface. I may not have liked it, especially because this is upside down, and I may have tried to push it back in there, but it's like Pandora's box. Once you've realized something, it doesn't matter if you try to pretend you haven't and slide into denial, it's there. It's like in the peripheral vision, irritating you until you bring it into focus and look at it with honesty. And this is a time of saying no to anything that is untrue. Whether you're telling yourself that, society's telling you, somebody you're in partnership with, a relationship with is telling you something that's untrue, it's time to get real with those things and to get out of denial. There is a lot in this reading that offers us the opportunity to look at, where are we in denial? Where are we using our addictive tendencies to stay in a pattern of what was, and it's delaying our pattern of moving forward. Again, we are changed, but we're feeling uncomfortable in that change. We'd rather not know the truth, even though we need to face the truth even when it's uncomfortable, and therefore we are avoiding it and getting back into denial and going into our bad habits. This one, I'm just going to jump on that note. This one, Milk and Honey in protection. It's a very opulent card where abundance and prosperity is coming to you in its upright form. But we've got it upside down, where it really is saying, maybe you're comfort eating to avoid those feelings, or maybe you're drinking too much, or maybe you have run back to the office to work too hard so you don't have to think about those big feelings that have been showing up, or those places that suddenly you need to change something but you really don't want to. So this is very much kind of, especially in conjunction with that card, and especially in protection, is saying get out of denial, stop leaning on your crutches that help you to stay in denial. And we all know how easy it is to do that, because that is a way of avoidance, and we feel, for the moment, we feel momentarily safer, but then in the light of the next day or the next moment, we are back to square one. So we really need to face it. And one of the real solutions is our upright card here, and that is flexible. And I mean, the name of the card says it all. This makes me think of the pose in yoga called swaying palm tree. And in yoga poses, it's always a case of, why did they name the pose that? And what is the pose doing for me? And I always speak into that in my yoga classes of, think of that palm tree that can withstand tornadoes, and it can bend without being pulled out and uprooted, without snapping, because it is able to be flexible and to change direction, change perspective, pivot. And that's very much what we need to be doing right now. So to get out of denial, sometimes it's easier for us to just move 1 degree in a different direction. Start looking at things differently, rather than doing a full 180 or a full 90-degree turn. Maybe just do incremental changes. Allow yourself to be teachable. Let the universe teach you. Let life and the situations give you the breadcrumbs, even if those breadcrumbs are leading you into some of the places you maybe don't want to go at first. They're ultimately trying to help you to polish up for whatever is coming next, because you're not the you were a month ago. And then our last card of these 4, before I show you the bonus card, is a leg up, which is also upside down. And this is also saying, you can't do life alone. You can't go at it alone. I think this is a big nod to our collective lesson with Pluto in Aquarius now, is groupthink and hive mind and the collective support system, our communities. We're coming out of a big, strong Aries season. It was an eclipse in Aries. Mercury was retrograde in Aries. There was a lot of uncomfortable, I need to be autonomous. This is Aries. I need to be independent. I need to do everything on my own. I need to win that race. I, me, mine. And there is a part of us that obviously needs to tap into that, but not in isolation in everything. There are spaces where we need to heal the wounds. Remember, Chiron was very involved in the eclipse on the 8th of April, and Chiron is the wound. There is a part of us that needs to heal the wounds of how to be independent, but also how to be independent without being isolated. And this is what that is speaking to. And because it's come upside down for us, there is that fear of asking for help, fear of leaning into your community. It takes courage to ask for help, because it makes you vulnerable. And it's much easier to give help than it is, for most of us anyway, certainly myself included. It's easier to give help than receive it. But one of the ways that I speak to myself and clients all the time about that is, if you let me help you, then I'm going to be more inclined to let you help me. So think about it that way sometimes. If I allow others to help me, they'll come to me for help when they need it. Whereas if I'm just giving help all the time, I seem from the outside perspective to have it all together all the time. People don't realize sometimes I need help too. And maybe I seem too good to be true, so they don't come to me. That kind of mentality, I feel like, is very helpful for us to understand that it's all about perspective. And if you never show your underbelly, if you never show your vulnerability, people will assume that you're either too good to be true, they won't trust you, which comes back to that truth be told. You're not being authentic if you're always, quote unquote, perfect. And none of us are that. But if we're trying very hard to be perceived as that, then we're actually unapproachable. And that's what we want to do now. We want to all see each other at the same level. We want to be, shoulder to shoulder, eye to eye, not I'm better than you, you're better than me. We need to take each other off pedestals, realize we're all going through all the things. None of us is above the change that is happening. And then our bonus card that's come out is clean it up. So that's for all of us. And the bonus card is saying, again, just that. I mean, these cards are quite self-explanatory. As you gaze into the picture, you get more, also more guidance about it. But really, clean it up is talking about cleaning up everything about us. So this is, again, now stay in your lane. Help when help is asked for, but don't assume somebody needs you to step in and do something for them. Part of each of our lesson right now is that if I need help, I need to ask for help. I shouldn't wait for you to just offer help because you from the outside can see I'm struggling. I need to ask. That's my lesson. And it's for you to wait for me to ask you for help before you help. And I personally find this lesson, I have a lot of fire in my chart. I find this lesson very hard. If you apply that to yourself, where is it that I'm hoping somebody will rescue me like a knight on a white horse, when actually I need to rescue myself? And sometimes rescuing myself is asking the right people for help, is showing where I'm vulnerable, is owning where I'm vulnerable, and then turning that vulnerability into a strength of recognizing that I can ask for help, I can get support. And then this is also about your energetic hygiene. So keeping your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, and your energetic body, your auric health, a priority. And with a lot of what these cards have been talking to about leaning into addictive tendencies, if we are going into denial, we immediately want to feed the feelings. So whatever it is that you use to feed the feelings, whether that is literal food, whether that is sex, whether that is drugs, whether that is work, whatever it is that you use to feed the feelings, to stay in denial and to be in avoidance, so you don't have to ask for help, which stops the flexibility and makes us rigid, those are the things we need to clean up. So if it's your diet, if you are literally comfort eating, then clean up your diet. If you are getting very sedentary because you just rush into the office and sit at a desk all day, then clean up your exercise routine. This can really mean, and I'm sure it does mean, more than one thing in each of our lives. And it's just a reminder. And if you think about Mercury retrograde shadow, the post shadow that we're in, this is kind of the solution time. This is the last pass of the degrees that Mercury went backwards over, and is now going over for the third time. This is solution time. So actually, it's a very positive time. Add to that Venus stepping into her own sign of Taurus, which says, okay, I value my health. I value these people in my life. I value being honest. I value abundance in all its many forms. How do I get to that? I've got to clean up my act. And then I can turn this around and I can arrive in the land of milk and honey. There will be many people that will help me along the way. I'm prepared to ask for help and offer help. And of course, I become a more authentic, honest, truthful person. People can come to me because they know I've gone through stuff. I'm not perfect and I've never faced any challenges. In fact, I am a more real person because I have faced these challenges and I've learned to be flexible and to adapt to change. So I hope that's been helpful. I'm sending so much love on this week of deep consolidation as we have that last quarter moon phase before we have Taurus new moon next week. I'm sending you much love and light. Thank you for the follows, likes, shares, and subscribes. Check out my links below if you'd like to work with me personally.